What you are about to hear is real. These are not scenes from Ocean's 11 or a Hollywood blockbuster. These are real people who planned, executed, and in many cases got away with some of the most audacious heists in human history. We are talking hundreds of millions of dollars, priceless artworks, and in one case, an entire bank's gold reserves. This is the top 10 heists that actually worked, and number 1 has never been fully solved to this day. Number 10, the Antwerp Diamond Heist, February 2003, Antwerp, Belgium. A group of thieves rented an office in the same building as the Antwerp Diamond Center, one of the most secure diamond vaults in the world. Over several months, they studied the building, the security systems, and the routines of every guard. On the weekend of February 15th, they broke into the vault, and over 2 days, calmly emptied 123 of the 160 safe deposit boxes inside. When staff arrived on Monday morning, they found the vault door wide open and over $100 million worth of diamonds, cash, gold, and jewelry simply gone. Police eventually arrested several suspects, but here is the part that will stay with you. The diamonds were never recovered, not a single one. Number 9, the Paris Museum of Modern Art Heist, May 2010, Paris, France. In the early hours of the morning, a single thief broke a window lock at the Paris Museum of Modern Art, walked calmly through the museum, and removed 5 paintings from the walls. These were not ordinary paintings. They were works by Picasso, Matisse, Braque, Leger, and Modigliani, valued at over 100 million euros combined. The entire theft took less than 30 minutes. Security cameras had a malfunction that night. A man was eventually arrested, but when investigators asked where the paintings were, he told them he had panicked and thrown them in a rubbish bin. 5 of the world's most valuable paintings, potentially destroyed, and to this day, not one has ever been found. Number 8, the Baghdad Bank Robbery, March 2003. In the chaos of the early days of the Iraq War, as American forces were advancing on Baghdad, someone handed Iraqi President Saddam Hussein a note. The note was a request to withdraw almost $1 billion in cash from Iraq's central bank. Saddam signed the note, and the next morning, trucks pulled up to the Central Bank of Iraq and loaded up approximately $920 million in U.S. currency and euros. The money was driven away and simply vanished into the chaos of war. Some of it was found hidden in the walls of one of Saddam's palaces, but the majority, nearly $1 billion, was never recovered, making it one of the largest cash thefts in history. Number 7, the United California Bank Burglary, 1972, Laguna Niguel, California. A group of professional thieves spent months planning their approach to the United California Bank. On a weekend when the vault was unguarded, they tunneled through the roof, lowered themselves down, and spent the entire weekend cracking open safe deposit boxes. When they were done, they had stolen between $8 and $30 million worth of cash, bonds, and jewelry. They were eventually caught, but not because of the heist. One member of the crew couldn't stop talking about it and bragged to the wrong person. The lesson: the perfect heist means taking the secret to your grave. Number 6, the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, Heist, Boston, Massachusetts, March 1990. 2 men dressed as police officers knocked on the museum door at 1 a.m., telling security they were responding to a disturbance call. The guard buzzed them in. Within seconds, both guards were handcuffed to pipes in the basement. For the next 81 minutes, the 2 men walked calmly through the museum, cutting 13 artworks directly from their frames, including works by Rembrandt, Vermeer, and Degas, valued at over $500 million, making it the largest art theft in history. The empty frames still hang on the museum walls today as a reminder of what was taken. The thieves were never identified, the paintings were never recovered, and the museum still offers a $10 million reward for information 34 years later. Number 5, the Banco Central burglary, Fortaleza, Brazil, August 2005. A group of thieves rented a property near the Banco Central and told neighbors they were opening a landscaping business. For 3 months, trucks came and went, carrying what appeared to be gardening equipment. But underneath the property, a team was digging a 78-meter tunnel straight into the basement of the bank. On a Friday night when the bank was closed, they broke through the vault floor and spent the entire weekend loading cash into bags. When staff arrived Monday morning, the vault was missing $164 million in unprocessed banknotes. It remains the largest bank robbery in Brazilian history. Several suspects were arrested, but less than 10% of the money was ever recovered. Number 4. The Knightsbridge security deposit robbery, London, England, 1987, Valerio Vice, an Italian criminal already wanted for over 50 armed robberies in Italy, walked into the Knightsbridge Safe Deposit Center in London, asked to rent a safety deposit box, and while being escorted inside, pulled out a gun. Within minutes, his accomplices stormed in. They tied up the staff and spent hours emptying the deposit boxes of their contents: cash, jewelry, gold, documents. When they walked out, they had stolen an estimated £60 million, making it one of the largest robberies in British history. Vici was eventually caught, not because of brilliant detective work, but because he came back to London to collect his beloved Ferrari. Some people never learn. Number 3, the Lufthansa heist, New York City, December 1978. A group connected to the Lucchese crime family received a tip that the Lufthansa cargo terminal at JFK Airport would be holding an unusually large shipment of cash and jewelry. On December 11th, a team of armed men in a black Ford van pulled up to the terminal, overpowered the guards, and in under 64 minutes, loaded up approximately $5 million in cash and $875,000 in jewelry. It was the largest cash robbery in American history at the time. The story became so famous it was immortalized in the film Goodfellas. Most of the crew members were murdered by their own associates in the months that followed. The money was never recovered, and no one was ever convicted for the actual robbery. Number 2, the Securitas Depot robbery, Tunbridge, England, February 2006. A gang of criminals kidnapped the manager of a Securitas cash depot, along with his wife and young child, using them as leverage to gain access to the facility. Once inside, they tied up 14 members of staff and spent hours loading cash into vehicles. When they drove away, they had stolen £53 million, making it the largest cash robbery in British history. The operation was so well planned that investigators believed it had inside information. Several members were arrested and convicted, but approximately £25 million was never found somewhere out there. A fortune is still waiting. And number 1 takes us back to Antwerp, but this time the full story is even more extraordinary than most people know. The mastermind behind the 2003 Antwerp Diamond Heist was a man named Leonardo Notarbartolo, an Italian jewel thief who had spent years perfecting his craft across Europe. He rented an office in the Diamond Center building 2 years before the heist, spending that entire time studying every detail of the security system. The vault was protected by 10 different layers of security, including infrared sensors, seismic sensors, a lock with 100 million possible combinations, and a magnetic field detector. Notarbartolo and his team defeated every single one of them. They worked through an entire weekend, methodically emptying box after box. When they finally left, they had stolen what investigators estimated to be between $100 and $400 million worth of diamonds and valuables, making it potentially the largest diamond heist in history. Notarbartolo was eventually caught when a partially eaten salami sandwich found near the scene was traced back to him through DNA. He served his sentence, was released, and to this day maintains that the real stolen amount was far higher than reported. He claims the vault's owners were hiding something far more valuable inside. The diamonds have never been found. The full truth has never come out. and the question of what was really inside that vault remains one of the greatest mysteries in criminal history. These are not movie plots. Every single heist on this list happened in real life. Real people, real planning, real fortunes stolen. Some were caught, some were not. But in almost every case, the money was never fully recovered. If this video kept you hooked until the end, subscribe to Curiosities After Dark, where every week we bring you the most fascinating and unbelievable true stories from history. Hit the bell so you never miss an upload, and we will see you in the next one.